Oh, is the TikTok is it still the fancy like Applebee's or whatever, that song? Fancy like Applebee's. It's people are like annoyed with that. You see, because it's on college football. The commercial plays all the time. I think Governor Nome, that's the one her family did to that song. Because she went. Yeah. Hello, Flint. May I please have tickets to the PBR finals? It would be such a dream come true. You can buy tickets to the PBR World Finals, as a matter of fact. If I gave PBR World Finals tickets to one person, we got to work on that. We got to work on it. Ponce was going to do a giveaway for it. We'll try to figure it out. Jesse, I just got married Sunday and turned 30 on Monday. That's a weekend right there. Wow. Cool. Northeast Georgia Mountains. Robin, Pendleton Whiskey in the house. Here, this isn't our house, but it is. Got a few. Give them a minute. Welcome, everybody, by the way. No, I am not in Pendleton. Speaking of Pendleton, I'm here. There's what's his name. Thanks, Tim. Rosie. I like that. New Mexico. Rosie. But how about everybody not tell me how they're letting her buck in Pendleton tonight? How about let's just the good for you. Great for you. Let's let her buck Laurel. Yeah. Sarah Walters in Calgary. Marcus noticed. Oh, I see Pendleton is back. See? It works. Hey, Marcus. We'll let him know you noticed. I was there. I had two good friends inducted. You're right, Robin. And then I left town. Oh, anyway, you know what? What do you say we get a move on? Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday night, 7:04-ish. It is time for another edition of A Little According to Flint Live. Can't hear him. Did you check the volume? Is the volume okay? One person said they can't hear. Good? Oh, yeah, it's good. Look at that. Welcome, everybody. Look, already something stuck out to me. Sandy Hodgkiss from Shoto. Jim and I went to REO Speedwagon last night in Helena. Oh, I knew that. You know how I knew? I heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You've been messing around. REO Speedwagon. Look at Logan staring at me like nothing. REO Speedwagon. I can't fight this feeling any longer. Or, heard it from a friend who heard it from. Listen, you people, stick with us. We've got young Logan here. REO Speedwagon. How about Jay Giles Band? Same era. Centerfold. Na, 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 na. Jay Giles Band. Same time. It's just sad. It's sad that kids don't have any culture now. Anyway, welcome everybody. Logan is in denial. Yeah. Logan, Garrison wants to know what's for supper. We had chicken enchiladas here tonight, Gary. Unbelievable. Sticks was right in there. Too much time on my hands. Yeah, that's your homework for the week, is to go listen to early 80s to late 80s songs. So, welcome. It's been a great week. Well, it was a great weekend. Let's just, for the most part, unless you're getting on a plane Then the weekend was great. How about we cover that in this week's weekend recap? Covering the comments. That's right. Big weekend for me as I went to, and the whole PBR, the Unleash the Beast tour, went to Anaheim, California, the Honda Center. We for a while, we called it the Ponda Center because it used to be the Pond, but now it's the Honda Center, and we got in trouble for calling it the Ponda Center. They've had revamped, all new seats in there in the last couple of years. The Honda Center is it's a good premier facility. Great crowds. I gotta admit, and this is maybe a challenge for you folks up in Northern California, I think the Anaheim, Orange County, Southern California crowd might have taken over the enthusiasm lead from Sacramento. I know. The best ones are Sacramento and Anaheim. Kansas City is right in there. Crazy crowd in Kansas City. I think those are the tops. We haven't been to Tacoma, Washington in a while. They're good too, but Anaheim, let me tell you guys something. And how can I say this gently? People are pretty there. Like this is awful. I actually said this in the arena. I looked around the arena and I said on my mic, listen, I'm looking on the big screen at some of the moms here with little kids. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that when I was that age, my mom looked nothing like that. Because I'm pretty sure my friends would have told me and we'd have had a lot of sleepovers. I'm not sure. So congratulations, Southern California. You got some stuff going on. Anaheim was as good a UTB tour stop as we've had in a long time in every way. I think the first night we rode 15 out of 40 bulls. We had 8 guys the next night come back riding 2 into the championship round. Guys stepped up. The crowd was behind them. In every way, it was good. The riders rode well. The bullfighters were amazing. It was Frank, Cody, and Jesse again. They were flawless. I felt really good physically, felt like we did some fun things with the crowd. Clint Atkins was back after a short layover for reasons we can't disclose. COVID. Him and Matt West did a great job. Richard Jones on the music. It was just, we did it how we're supposed to do it. So all the folks, if you were there in Anaheim, that's how you do it. That's how we do our job. Another guy, surprisingly, that was on top of his game, Jose Vitor Lemi. I know. Well, yeah, before we were doing our run through. Here's the kind of conversations sometimes we have. We were doing our rehearsal with the announcers. We go through all the videos and music, and at the end, and Dan Hickman, our boss, will say, and then the show ends. I believe we're going to take depending on the rider, we're going to take Kate Harrison. We'll do an interview. We will take her microphone to the house, blah, blah, blah. And Matt West goes, you mean we're going to give Jose another buckle at that point of the show? And we all laughed. And then somebody else in the locker room, I'm picking Jose, and we were making fun, going out on a limb. That guy is so good. He's just a stride ahead for now. So this week, we go from sunny Southern California, where not everything's still not open, but the crowd was good and pretty unmasked and fun. That's kind of the story right now. Look at college football and NFL football stadiums. Are you really, now remember the Raiders in Las Vegas announced a few weeks ago, you got to be vaccinated to get in a Raiders game? Anybody watch the Raiders game? If all those people were vaccinated, they got a pretty good percentage of the population because it was wall to wall. So I'd like to see the paperwork on that. I think it was a good statement. No way. Especially Raider fans. Come on. Give me a break. So this week, Newark, New Jersey. Newark. I have a flight. I get in Friday night. We have a Saturday night show, Sunday afternoon. I actually have a 6:30 p.m. flight back to Bozeman Sunday night. Hey, no, it's not. I got to go through Salt Lake and up. So Bozeman had a Newark flight and it went away. And then we go to Greensboro in a few weeks. So I looked at Bozeman. They have a direct flight to Charlotte and popped out. It's gone too. So they rotate them in and out. Anyway, so Newark this week. Hey, hoping for a great crowd. I don't know. I don't know anything about the arena. It's fairly close to the Newark airport, so that's good. I don't know what that tells anybody, but it's supposed to be warm and the pizza's good. So one bite. Everybody knows the rules. Yeah. So also this weekend, I'll talk about, I made a little stop in Pendleton, Oregon. I will talk about that in a little bit. But my girls kicked off their college rodeo season. Both of them had there was 2 rodeos in Cody, Wyoming. They competed in what you call the slack Saturday morning, but got in their pickup with their trailer, loaded their horses, and the 4 girls, the women's college rodeo, there might be 30 girls at Montana State on the rodeo team, but the points team every weekend is 4 girls. And when they won the national championship at the college national finals, rodeo last summer in Casper, it was 4 girls. It was Shelby, Paige, Taylor Moykins, and Lindsay Pulsifer, who had graduated. She came up to Bozeman. Those 4 girls at the Gold Rush game did this. No volume. There you go. Wait for it. My 2 girls are the first ones, Lindsay, and they lead the team onto the field. Let's see it. I hate it. So great. So great. There you go. That's what my girls, they were in a college rodeo, did well in Cody, Wyoming, and led the Bobcats onto a packed Bobcat Stadium. There you go. That, by the way, I'm getting that printed and hanging on my wall. I mean, any doubt at all. That is, hey, can I take a little credit? I stole that off Montana State's social media, but I brightened it up and edited it so it looked better. No, I know. It's what I do. Yeah, I know. That is a great, great picture. Anyway, that makes me more excited than anything. I know. Let's see what we got going. A little time, a minute here to see if the video doesn't do it justice. You are right, because it is so loud in there. Folks, we're Bobcat fans in our family, but we are so lucky in Montana. Bobcat Stadium in Bozeman, Montana, Washington Grizzly Stadium at the University of Montana in Missoula, 2 of the best college football experiences as far as smaller colleges go in the whole country. In the FCS, it used to be 1AA. They're great. And the Bobcats are good. The Grizzlies are unbelievably good as well. Both of them won by similar scores. And the people of Montana rally around those teams. And I know, listen, I've said it before. My friend Brandon Bates came up 2 years ago for the Bobcat Grizzly game. And halfway through the game, we're on the sideline, and he grew up at Baton Rouge going to LSU games. He lived in Oklahoma going to OU games. And he said, I've been to all the major college stadiums, LSU and Oklahoma, 2 of the most famous. He said, these 20,000 Montanans, they're as loud as I've ever heard. So that's cool. So anyway, that was a fun time. Actually, both my daughters are in that picture, by the way. Do you still have that? Can you put that back up? I'll show you. I'll tell you who's in the picture. Okay. In the left, the tan hat, that's Paige. Shelby led the way. Taylor Moykins, national champion barrel racer, on the right. And then in the back is Lindsay Pulsifer. Those are the 4 girls. So the gray horse, Ice Cube, wanted nothing to do with the bluegrass in the end zone. And then Petey on the left, the buckskin horse, he's done this stuff before. But they run through the band, through the flames going off. Once they're running, man. I could watch that. I've watched that I don't know how many times. Oh, so anyway, see if there's any good comments, questions. Yes, I'm very proud. Let's see. Yes, Sarah, both teams have rodeo teams, although the University of Montana, their team isn't as good because they have trouble. Their spurs don't stay on their sandals very well. So that's tough for them. My mom will be so glad I said that. Had to. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh yeah. Don't worry. The rest of the Bobcat, the Bobcat Rodeo girls, don't worry. I didn't forget. They just didn't make the picture because it is my show, Sarah. You know that. Do I do any deer hunting? It's time to start down here in Georgia. A little bit. I'll get to that later too. We're in bow season, archery season right now. My brother Pete still calls it bow and arrow. So I'm with bow and arrow. Well, of course, he didn't just shoot him with a bow. There's an arrow. It's bow. It's archery season. Tiger Woods' comeback is still a bit. Did we ask a comeback question? Somebody just answered a question. Tiger Woods' comeback, still the best comeback in the world. That was an old question, I think. But I appreciate you sticking with us. Corey Ferguson, is the field house still there in Bozeman? Yeah, Corey, because I believe you probably won the college national championship in the steer wrestling in the Bozeman in Rick Breeden Fieldhouse. Yep, it is. They have the spring rodeo there. They've done a lot of refurbishing. It's nicer than it used to be. Still have the spring rodeo in there in April usually. So the Fieldhouse, the big dome, sits off in the distance, just not far from the football stadium. So you got it. Marcus, you're too impatient for bow season. Hey, lots of things. I've been thinking about some stuff this week that I want to tell you. So I guess no better time now than that popular segment called I'll Say This. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, I'll say this. See that? Drink of choice. We switched it up a little because Dave, he purchased beverages. He's hardcore. We're going to Pendleton, but we went out on a limb. This week, look at Logan going for more. The Pendleton Midnight. Folks, a little tip from the wily veteran here. The Pendleton Midnight is smooth. There ain't enough O's in smooth for Pendleton Midnight. But let me tell you, not so smooth coming back up. You got to be careful of the Midnight. It'll sneak up on you. And because it's more alcohol by volume. You can look at the bottle. So be careful. I'll say this. Pendleton Midnight is good. But you got to watch out because it'll get you. Logan may not. He's staying the night at Tony and David's house. Yeah, staying the night. Jeez. Flint can only shoot him. He can't clean him. Phil Murphy, you are right. I've never dressed out a deer because I'm so allergic to him I can't touch him. True story. Yeah. No, that is true. When I was a kid, my eyes used to swell up. And yeah. So I just shoot them, boom, get back in the pickup. Just like that. I'll say this. First of all, on a nice note, I got a package in the mail when I got home yesterday. And it was from my good friend Rory Feek. Remember Joey and Rory? The great duo, and we lost Joey. We were just thinking about 4 years ago already, and she had battled cancer for so long, and so Rory, who we'd become friends, sent me his new CD of his own, and it was cool because it had a little card inside. It says, some albums take a while to come to be. This one took a lifetime. It's a collection of stories that are all part of a larger story that I'm so proud to be a part of, filled with heartache, hope, and above all, love. Thank you for the encouragement you've given me and for sharing in all the extraordinary, ordinary moments that I get to be part of, including this one, Upward, it said. So thank you. I would encourage you to go online or wherever, but anyway, my friend Rory Feek, thank you for the CD. Anxious to listen to it. By the way, Keith Ryan Cartwright is being very sarcastic in asking the question, is JB Mooney going to be out for 42 months? because JB Mooney got hurt and Cowboy Channel and Pro Rodeo was saying could jeopardize his chances to compete at the NFR. All right. Some of us have been around JB Mooney his entire career. He ain't missed the NFR. He did something to his kidney, lacerated his kidney. You think, let's vote who thinks JB would miss the NFR. Listen, folks. Hey, Pro Rodeo, Cowboy Channel. Let me introduce you to JB Mooney. He's okay. He'll be fine. Hope he doesn't pass away in the night. Sorry. Yeah, KRC sarcastic. In other news, I'll say this. I have sat by some interesting dogs, people on airplanes, but from Orange County to Seattle, I had this in the seat beside me. Look at that. Oh my God, on a bigger screen. He's a minx or I can't remember what they call him. Shelby. What up, Shelby? That is, folks, that is a young couple with their pet named Oliver. Oliver was beside me. Oliver liked me. Oliver liked when I scratched his head. Oliver was young, and they flew all the way from Alaska to pick up Oliver. I got the whole story. And so we took off, and Oliver, they were holding him, and I said to them, technically, you could turn him loose, because really, where's he going to go? I was joking, completely joking. So they go down, they open the little cat carrier, they put him in. Oliver cuts and runs out of the cat carrier under our seat. And the girl looks at me and she said, holy shit. And I laughed. I lost it. Because, okay, so Oliver takes off running through under the seats. We're in the air. And Oliver takes off running. Can you imagine sitting on an airplane? Maybe you're one of those people that doesn't fly much. You're scared anyway. And that thing pops up under the seat. It's like you're on the show Manifest on Netflix. And it's like you picked up an alien on the flight. So only flying from Southern California would I get to sit by. So they gathered up Oliver and got him, and the flight attendants came and said, you can't sit on your lap. You got to put him in the cat carrier. And so I put in earbuds and watched Clickbait on Netflix. But over that, I could hear the entire way, ow, ow, ow. Good old Oliver. There you go. That was my experience. So I mentioned naked cat loose on a plane. That is exactly right. It was so funny. I liked him. I liked Oliver. Yeah, it's a sphinx. Yes, it's a sphinx, Sarah. Thank you. Sarah Walters. There you go. That's what it is. So I flew up from Orange County, from Anaheim. Yeah, Brooke, no, Oliver did not have a mask on. I think that was part of the issue. He was vaccinated. That's funny, though. All those pets probably do have to be vaccinated to get on a plane. So quit your bitching. So I flew up to Seattle, had hell. A flight attendant did not show up, missed a connection because I was going to Pendleton. I'm not working at the Pendleton Roundup this year. As a matter of fact, the bull riding in Pendleton and Happy Canyon is about to start here within the hour. But I went up because my good friend Jack Shaw, old committee guy there that did everything for me in the 20-some years I was there, and he was going in the Hall of Fame along with Butch Knowles. Those were two of the people going in the Hall of Fame, who is, of course, now commentator for the NFR and rodeos across the country on Cowboy Channel. And so I made it. My bags didn't. I didn't change clothes. And so I made a little cameo appearance for one night. I was there about 14 hours in Pendleton for the Hall of Fame banquet, which was nice. But something, and I want to say this diplomatically. I was in Pendleton. The first year I went to Pendleton was 1998. So I was there in some capacity for 22 years-ish. They had a PBR there forever, Monday night, Tuesday now it's the PRCA Extreme Bulls Finals, so I can't go. And whatever the process was in that change, I've heard both sides, from the Pendleton people, from the PBR people. However that happens, here is something that, and as an employee of the company, I will say this about the PBR. There's a lot of people that work at the PBR that don't understand the connection you have when you have a connection to a rodeo. It's more than a show. It's more than a tour stop. It's more than just a rodeo. You have a deep connection to the volunteers, the committees, the community. Everywhere you go, it feels like you're part of a family, and more so in Pendleton, Oregon, than any rodeo I'd ever been in. I'm in the Hall of Fame there. I have great friends there. Some of my best friends in the world are in Pendleton, and there's just something about the smell of the place in September, the events. It's an overwhelming place. 2 days of bull riding, 4 days of rodeo, out on the grass in the biggest arena in rodeo. And it is what I miss about rodeo sometimes. I love my job at the PBR, but I do miss that sometimes. So I put it here because I'll say this. I don't have, as of this year, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just a job. I'd have a couple days to come home, get my legs feeling better before I went to the next one. But that connection to a community and a committee and families is something, that was my last one that I had. That was the last one that I held on to. Pendleton was still that rodeo I have a connection to, and I feel like I don't have it anymore. So last night and tonight, didn't think it would bother me, but I don't like not being there. I don't like not being a part of that experience. I don't like not having those fans cheer for me. That's the one place I've ever been that I got a standing ovation at the beginning when I got introduced. So I hope my friend Matt Merritt's there. I'm sure he's doing a great job, but that place is more than just a stop on the tour. It's more than just a generic arena. And so I do wish, as of right now, I wish, with all due respect, I love being here with you guys, but I miss that connection and being part of that community, however that went down. Anyway, there you go. Hey, great numbers and feedback from the podcast with Jess Lockwood. It really, I'll read, hold on, I'm going to read a couple comments. People are having their own, I'm coming into conversations partway through here, obviously. Yeah. Look at, now they're talking about Oregon and Ohio State. How the hell did that happen? Okay, I have a request. If you guys want to have conversations, get each other's numbers. Because when I look down, all of a sudden we're talking about Oregon and Ohio State. Which, by the way, OH, you suck. OHIO. Ohio, they do it. You can yell OH in any airport in the country. Somebody will go, IO. And I don't know why I like seeing Ohio State lose, but I do. Anyway, Randy Schmutz, good to see you on here. Miss Jess on the tour. Jess is going to come back. He looks pretty good. What will I miss about the finals in Vegas? The finals in Vegas. Vegas, I'm relaxed in Vegas. Vegas is, it's so easy to me. Vegas is just, you guys know, when we went to Texas to the NFR last year and people sitting at home were like, oh, it's got to be in Texas. The thing I like about Vegas is you can finish a show 9:30 at night, you take your time, you get back to, I'm a South Point guy, only place I stay. But you know, if you get back to the South Point at 11, you can eat whatever you want, wherever you want. You can get ice cream. You're comfortable. I don't know. I'm a Vegas guy. That's all there is to it. The World Finals will be great in Texas. I still do some work at the NFR, but that's what I'll miss is just that it's Vegas. What are you seeing? Keith. KRC, you are such a smart ass. Do you know Keith Ryan? Okay, long as he's being a smart ass. Do you know Keith Ryan Cartwright has never chewed a piece of gum? Creeps him out. Hates gum. True story. There you go, Keith. That's a true story. It's like almost a gum phobia. It's like a fear of gum. He cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. That is true. So anyway, that's a good question. So is Matt Merritt not under the same PBR contracts as you are? Why is it different? Because I did it in the contract, I am an employee of the company. Most people in my position are independent contractors. So Matt Merritt does the Velocity Tour events, but doesn't have to go to all of them. He is not bound by contract to stick with PBR. Matt Merritt is very successful in the PRCA rodeo business. He's a good rodeo clown. So no, that's the difference. I'm an employee, and in my contract, I will divulge this information in my contract, and I helped put it in there so there were no decisions to make. So that if Reno Rodeo came and said, will you come? And I say, yeah, you bet. I'll go do Reno. Then another one couldn't, I didn't have to decipher or make a judgment call. So in my contract, it says, it isn't an anti-PRCA thing, nothing. It just says any event I work has to be sanctioned by the PBR. So I can do the small ones in the summer, Big Sky, Livingston, but anything I work has to be sanctioned by the PBR. I went to Calgary for years because technically the bull riding in the Calgary Stampede was sanctioned by the PBR. That's why I went to Calgary. So anyway, no, Matt Merritt does not have the same restrictions. I did. I have those. Exclusive. I think I'm maybe the only one. But, whatever. I don't do this stuff for free. So no, I know. But the problem is the lower level one, I'm on a salary to do the Unleash the Beast tour. So like touring pro events like Pendleton, I'm an independent contractor. So did it cost me? Cost me a little scratch, fellas. Oh, well. No after party at Mac's Bar and Grill. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I mentioned the podcast with Jess Lockwood this week. I think this will be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one. This week, Thursday, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whenever Logan gets around posting it. We'll post all the links right here. It's available on YouTube and all your streaming services where you get your podcast. The one and only, he's PBR founder, livestock director, the legendary Cody Lambert. Look at that. Yes. Cody Lambert, outspoken, but very much, speaking of rodeos, very much a rodeo fan and very straightforward and tells guys to go rodeo. Very proud of JB Mooney right now for, he's going to make it to the NFR. And Cody not afraid to talk about PBR and PRCA bulls. Here's a little clip from my podcast with the one and only Cody Lambert. I will say, when people ask me about rodeo bulls and, the bulls are stronger, all I say is there's great bulls in rodeo, because I'm diplomatic. I'm a rodeo fan. But there's great bulls in rodeo, and excuse to the people listening, the term I use is every week at the Unleash the Beast tour, they're getting on dick slammers every time. Like, there's a difference in the power. That's what I see. Difference in the power.
Right. And some of those bulls go to the rodeos, and don't get me wrong. I'm a rodeo guy through and through, but it's just obvious. That's where the difference is. That's where, that's what separates the UTB from everything else. There's good bull riders in rodeo, and there's good bulls. Yeah. But when they say it's the best bull riders in the world against the best bulls in the world, the only place for that is the UTB.
There you go, Cody Lambert. It was a good hour. What's the time? It's about an hour. He and I talked. Yeah, right about an hour. We talked. Hey, if you want to hear, here's what even intrigues me. And Logan, it was just you and I in here, wasn't it? Yeah. Logan sits in because he has set up all the stuff. Cody Lambert loves to tell rodeo stories. I love when he talks about, he said, Lane Frost would smile. He'd get bucked off and he'd smile, sign everybody's autograph. And he would be so mad that Cody said him and Tough, they'd just sleep because he'd drive like 8 hours just being mad. but like 115 miles an hour. Just so they kind of liked when Lane every once in a while would buck off because they'd get to rest because he'd drive. So if you want rodeo stories, talking about great bull riders, the whole huge segment of great bulls and what they bring, and Lane Frost stories, it's pretty good. Yeah, I was very happy with it. It was a lot of fun. So, anyway, as always, our podcast brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, proud to bring the Western lifestyle and outdoor enthusiasts together for conservation projects, enhancing elk habitat, and ensuring the future of America's hunting heritage. Visit rmef.org for more information. Here's a little message from our friends at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
It's a time-honored tradition, passed down from generations. And even though we don't know what tomorrow holds, we can do our part today to ensure the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. Join today and help us ensure the future.
Check out rmef.org. A lot of local banquets, auctions, fundraisers, keeping our elk hunting heritage alive. Wait, don't put it up yet. Speaking of elk hunting, it is archery season in Montana. And what, 45 minutes from right here? Yep. 45 minutes? That's right. The guy right over there, David, and his fine other young son, Garrison, this morning went out, squealed him in here, and this is what happened. There you go. Look at that. Dave, your eyes are closed. I didn't notice that. That's because he's going, you're doing, yeah, you're going, that's my boy. There you go. Garrison plunked one with his bow, or as my brother Pete says, his bow and arrow. That's a cool bull. Good for you guys. There was some bigger ones with him, you think? There was about 8 in that. 8. Yeah. So that's not far from right where we are here north of Billings on the west end of the Bull Mountains, right? Yep. And they're right now, see, the elk are bugling in the rut, so they bugle them in. How far a shot did he have? 40 yards. So there you go. That's Garrison on the left. He's sat in here quite a bit. And that's David. David's the godfather of all this that we do here. He's right over there. So congratulations to Garrison and David. You know how when hunters, when they're on shows, they say they harvested a nice bull? You harvest corn. You harvest wheat. They killed an elk. They killed a bull elk and skinned him out right away, took him to the processor. For all the people out there, eating every bit of that sucker. They'll be good, right? They're probably eating alfalfa fields and oh my gosh. There you go. Elk in the freezer for Garrison and David. There you go. See, love it when a plan comes together. All right, Cooper Tire Fan of the Week, everybody. It was pretty straightforward, but it was so interesting. I thought this was a great one. And thanks to my friend Casey Ackerman at Team Cooper Tire for coming up with some good ideas. The most famous relative you have or had. So I'm thinking I'll get somebody. There was a couple, but some rock star. Well, Garth Brooks is my mom's, but more they went back in history. How about my mom? My mom's great grandfather's great great grandfather. So that would be great 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 grandfather fought in the Revolutionary War for the British. I'm surprised I hope that doesn't come out. I'll get canceled. Like my relatives fought against the colonies. That'll come back to haunt me. I hope I didn't tweet hope my great, 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 great grandfather didn't tweet about it. So thanks, Tootie. Oh, and she says, maybe I should have added a couple more. Not sure. Yeah. Me and Will, maybe Pete. You know what song I like? I got some famous friends, Chris Young and Crane Brown. I got a famous brother. Yeah, not Will, Pete. The Justice of the Pete, man. My sister Linda, she's famous, one of the greatest teachers ever. She was principal of the year in Oregon a couple of years ago. Famous. Let's see. Guy Colson, he's from England. He's a PBR fan. Captain James Cook. My friend Angie Watola, we went to high school at the same time. She was from Cascade. Pope John Paul II. His name is Carol Joseph Wojtyla. Same. That's amazing. Good job, Angie. Wow. That lady's related to Joe Alexander. Jane always has a Canadian reference that we've never heard of, but we love you, Jane. Wanda, she's related to President Rutherford B. Hayes, is a distant cousin, also a distant relative to Lizzie Borden. Woo, that's killer. That's awesome. Tammy Davis, distantly related to Jesse James, the outlaw. My great-grandmother was married to his uncle. There you go. See? Anybody? You got famous relatives that you guys know of? Besides Alvin. Bo. No? Not that you know of? Logan. Garrison. No. I got to skip that one. Let's see if there was I like this one. Julia Benton. Her brother is the best ballet orchestra maestro in the world. That's cool. I like that kind of stuff. He knew Leonard Bernstein, worked with Martha Graham, among others. Yeah, there you go. My great uncle, 8 times removed, signed the Declaration of Independence. I wonder if that's true. That sounds, let's see. Sandy, I don't know of any famous relative. Will you adopt me so I can have a famous relative? No, Sandy. Laura Ingalls Wilder. There you go. This Michelle Meek Van Dyke says, my last name is Van Dyke. I'm not related, but everybody thinks I am. Or you're related to everybody outside of Manhattan, Montana, or Conrad, Montana. Name like Van Dyke. However, tonight's winner, I don't know, because I just liked this one. Tonight's winner, I think she's on. Go ahead. Do you have that? Brenda Brockett, you're on here. I saw her. I just saw her on here. Anyway. Oh, that guy's mother is the third cousin to Billy the Kid. I nominate 2. My 6th great-grandfather, who was a medic in the Revolutionary War. He was later killed and scalped by Indians and is buried in a cemetery in eastern West Virginia. Thanks, Narducci. Sorry. Second, my maternal uncle, Private William Coulter, who sacrificed his life for the nation on Guadalcanal on November 25th, 1942, killed in action. Both are honored as my family's heroes and heroes to the nation. At Team Cooper Tire. Brenda Brockett, that's a good one. You guys good with that? I liked it. Brenda Brockett, you are a Team Cooper Tire fan of the week. Phil Murphy, Susan is a second cousin to John Fogerty. No kidding. Adrian, a relative of Chief Joseph. There's Brenda. Jimmy Hennique, my family from Crow Agency, had some family in the Little Bighorn Battle. That's right where Crow Agency is. Right, exactly. Thanks, Jimmy. Good to see you on there. Grizzlies are tough this year. Keep watching them. Oh, by the way, Steve Warburton, you are right. I meant to mention this earlier. Miles City, Montana. The Custer County High School Cowboys. Right here. There you go. Thanks to my friend Becky, who lives down the sidewalk. Color 8, Becky. She's from Miles City. I told her I wore a different shirt. I don't think she's ever watched, but she brought me a Miles City Cowboys football. They're probably pretty good this year. They're usually good. Miles City. Good old. Good. Yeah. They're always Laurel, Central, Miles City. Sydney was good for so many years, and they're always okay, but, Havre, whatever. Lewistown's pretty good this year. There you go. So anyway, thank you, Jane, for educating us on Canadians. Great. Steve, yeah, you lived in Miles City. Miles City is a great town. I love Miles City. I think it's cool. So I'm not going to ride my bike there. It's a long ways, but we like Miles City. So listen, everybody. We are next week. No show next week. Because Thing 1 and Thing 2 here are going to the Tuesday night concert here in Billings. They're going to drink beer as cold as you with Luke Combs. You know what I'm going to do? So we're not going to have a show next Tuesday. They're going to go to Luke Combs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my friend Shane Miner. Oh, now I'm revealing. And you guys are going to be watching. And on the back of the stage, I'm going to do this. Or wave to you. And you go, hi, guys. I'll go live from the Luke Combs. There you go. But we're not too worried about it. You should know we are working on a new, something new on a little different platform. We can't really say yet. We'll wait till we announce it. We started this Tuesday Night Live thing when the country was shut down, and we were all David had the idea, brought these guys, and so let's start working on a podcast. We'll do a Tuesday night Facebook Live, and it turned into every week. We've been doing this every week for a year and a half, almost every week, not every week. And so the idea was to take it and transition it into something a little different and sharper and more consistent. And we are working on that as of next month. We'll probably be on a different platform, but we will do a weekly show, but it probably won't be a Facebook Live. In turn, though, I noticed 400 people tuned in the other day when I did a live from the locker room at a show. I will continue to do some of those and maybe a few more to make up for the fact that we don't do this every Tuesday. So we'll let you know when that's going to happen. We're not going to do a show next week because we do have live. We don't have life. But if we get a chance to have a life, we go have a life. So it's Luke Combs, right? I think Luke Combs. That song, some things just go better together, where it's just him and a piano. Holy crap, that song's so good. He's a great guy, from all I hear about Luke. So anyway, have fun. Have fun, you dicks. I bet I don't go. Anyway, so what's that? I'm a little salty. No. It's okay. So Newark, New Jersey this weekend, and then the weekend after that, Deadwood, South Dakota. Home of the Deadwood lead Gold Diggers. That's right, because it's a girl in a wedding dress. I don't know. Used to be the Bears, right? Deadwood Bears. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate you. See you next time. Stay in touch. Catch me on Instagram right here. We'll keep you up to date on everything. Thanks, everybody.